Today I'm going to be fixing a rather simple but delicious dish using fresh green beans, or French beans as they were called in the 18th century. One of the ingredients in this recipe is ketchup. Now when we say ketchup today, most people think about tomato ketchup, but the word ketchup in the 18th century could mean a variety of different things. We'll be exploring that topic today as well. Thanks for joining us today on 18th Century Cooking with James Townsend and Son. Today we're going to be making a ragout of French beans from a recipe in John Farley's 1783 cookbook, The London Art of Cookery. We're going to start off with a pound of fresh green beans. Now, in the 18th century cookbooks, green beans were almost always called French beans, and typically in the recipes they were called to be cut lengthwise. And even today, this style of cut is called French style cut green beans. Most of the recipes I've seen for a ragout of French beans specifically call for the cook to cut the beans crosswise. So we've taken our beans, we've cut the ends and tips off and cut them into thirds. We're going to fry these beans in a little fat until they're lightly browned. You can use any type of fat, oil, butter, lard, or even beef fat will do. Once they're browned, we'll remove the beans and drain them, and we'll pour off the grease from our pan. Now in our pan we'll add about a half a stick or 2 ounces of butter that we've rolled in flour. Along with about a quarter of a cup of water, we'll also add 2 tablespoons of mushroom ketchup, along with 2 to 4 tablespoons of white wine or sack. We'll also add a couple of blades of mace, along with some freshly grated nutmeg and a little pepper. The mushroom ketchup has enough salt in it already. Finally, we'll add 1 medium onion. This onion's been peeled and stuck with cloves. This is a fairly common way of using onions in the 18th century. Many times they were thought of not only as an ingredient but also as a seasoning. This onion we will remove before we finish the dish. While this is simmering for a few minutes, let's talk about ketchup. The modern definition of ketchup is that of a sweet and tangy condiment, but it wasn't until the 19th century that tomato ketchup began to dominate the market as well as public perception. There are very few recipes in 18th century English cookbooks that call for the use of tomatoes, but we know from other literature, such as gardening books and physicians' manuals, that tomatoes were cultivated in kitchen gardens for use in salads, soups, and sauces. The earliest tomato ketchup recipes didn't appear in English cookbooks until the turn of the 19th century. Prior to that, ketchup was a general term that described a number of different sauces. In the 18th century, ketchup was used the same as it is today, both as an ingredient and as a condiment right there on the table. But ketchup was made from ingredients other than tomatoes. Mushroom ketchup was very common in the 18th century. A while back we produced a very popular video on how to make mushroom ketchup. Mushroom ketchup can be used for roast beef or poultry. It goes well with savory puddings, and it can also add that something extra for soups and stews. James Townsend and Son now offers a couple of new ketchup products. The first is this George Watkins mushroom ketchup. It's based on an early 19th century recipe and tastes exactly like the mushroom ketchup that we made in our video. Another new product we're carrying at James Townsend and Son is George Watkins anchovy sauce. This product is only available on our website. This has a stronger flavor. A little goes a long way. So if you want to liven up your historical food experiences, now there are some options. Mushroom ketchup or anchovy sauce. Okay, our sauce has simmered for a while and it is reduced nicely. I want to now remove the onion and add back the beans. A quick stir and that's it. I'll transfer it to a plate and serve it up. Let's give this a try. You can really taste the spices. And the mushroom sauce, excellent in this dish. You're going to really enjoy this.